Over the next half hour, I'm going to chat with artist Vincent Sammy about his amazing artwork, some very cool projects he's working on, and what it's like for both of us to be creatives living in South Africa. Welcome to the House of Shadows and Ink, Vincent Sammy.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
It's awesome having you here. It's not every day I get to chat with a fellow South African. It's weird, I know, because most people, like I work with people all over the world, and every time I try to work with a South African, something goes wrong for whatever reason. But I've been deciding lately that I'm gonna really push Crystal Lake and the House of Shadows and Ink into the South African market, but also give South African artists and authors um, also like a career boost. And been giving them more work, publishing a few of them. We finally found a printer in South Africa that's like good quality that we're happy with.
Mm.
So hopefully we can do a lot of great things together. But
Oh, yeah.
before we get to that, tell us who you are, what you do, why you love doing it, what makes you awesome.
Well, I'm Vincent Sammy, and I've been a freelance illustrator permanently now for about 14 years.
Nice.
And I've before those 14 years, I worked as a graphic designer and only did freelance illustration like part-time. But at some stage, I decided that I really don't want to be a graphic designer or web designer anymore. That was never my intention when I was younger to be any of that. And I thought with the last job that I had that I actually was retrenched from, I thought this is it. This is the point where I stop this and
Mm.
start focusing on who I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do. And from that point onwards, I just went full on into this world. And luckily, like as I said, I worked full time before, and I only did freelance work in illustration part time. So that's where I started building up my network of people initially. So that once I had to get into this fully, I already had set up a network of people that I could reach out to and to work for. And other than that, afterwards, it was more or less word of mouth that,
Mm.
or word of email, or word of social media, whichever you can call it, that I've been steadily getting work in and been working in the market of horror and science fiction, be it on books, book covers, interiors of books, magazines. I recently did a board game as well.
Cool.
And as well as trading cards. Yeah, various things within that space that I've been working on. And yeah, it's been a lifelong dream of mine since I was a kid because this is what I always wanted to be. And this is what I'm the most happiest at being.
Oh, excellent. And horror, fantasy, suspense stuff because you love it, or is that just the direction you were led in?
Uh, Horror and science fiction because I love those two genres specifically. I've always liked it since a young age. And yeah, I always wanted to be in that specific field. So yeah, it's always been my thing. I've always
Cool.
loved horror
Same.
and yeah, and always like science fiction. So, and if you can combine the two, even better.
Mm. I see a Tintin cover back there. Uh,
Uh,
that's like where my reading started, like comic books,
okay.
Tintin, and Asterix. Like
Yeah.
huge fan. I'll even today, I'd love reading them all again. Uh, so yes, like
Yeah,
any
the
awesome,
same here as well. Yeah, I
any.
mean, Tintinism is my my relaxing reading,
Mm,
and I've got a whole collection of them. I've got
oh,
figures of Tintin and all. So yeah,
cool.
I always love delving into that world as well.
Oh, same. I think I need to revisit again. Asterix somehow I've like it's not so much. It doesn't like have that same nostalgic feeling for me anymore, but Tintin always.
Yeah.
Um, so any like what's your favorite projects you've worked on or like any names people might recognize for your even if it's a book, the the game, if you're allowed to say it. I know how strict policies can be
Yeah,
about sharing too much about a game.
yeah. No, the game has been released last year, so I can speak about it. That would
Cool.
be Lovecraft Desk, the second Lovecraft Desk board game,
Mm,
and that was released by a company in the UK called Black Armada. It's basically a board game with a heavy Lovecraft influence in
mm,
it.
nice.
Lovecraft being also one of my favorite authors,
Mm,
and I
mm,
love that world as well. Yeah, so that was a really nice project to work on. Instead of the usual cover, it was a box design and then the
mm,
board design and cards and the guidebooks and rule books. So that was really
nice.
something that was nice to for change to do. And on various other things, the recent release of the anthology, "The End of the World as We Know It," I think that's the title.
Yes, yes, I know that one.
Yeah, that was the anthology of writers basing work around The Stand.
Mm,
So I did a couple of interior illustrations for that book as well.
awesome.
Uh, but that would be the German version, a German release of that book. So yeah, that
Cool.
was also
Yeah, that was a
quite a
big
big
release.
project. Yeah.
That's very cool. No, I love those. I'll have to go and look
Mm.
check what they look like. And we'll definitely put like as we talk now, we'll have the covers and images flashing on, and we'll put links in the description for anyone who wants to go and check it out, buy the books, the game. Uh we'll put your, website, contact info there as well if anyone's looking for an artist. Um they need to grab you before like I give you too much work or someone else picks you up. We'll fight it out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have to like, go back to, like we said, Tintin and stuff, like way back to the beginning, you said you've been wanting to do this since like a young age. When
Yeah.
did you realize, like, or could you just naturally draw well? When did this interest really take over?
I wouldn't say I could naturally draw well. I think drawing is something that every child does at some stage, and some of us are good at it, and some of us are average at it. But s- at some point, you kind of just give up drawing. It becomes something that you no longer pursue because now you have to concentrate on school, and it becomes
Mm,
more academic approach to actually getting a job. So a lot of people just give up that ability to draw, but I never did that. I always hanged on to that, and because the way I excuse me started was basically any book that I loved that I read back in the day, I would illustrate the cover of that book,
oh,
or at
nice.
least try to reproduce the cover,
Mm.
usually badly, but I always, if I liked it, I needed to reproduce the cover of it.
Mm,
So that was sort of like what I always used to do, and then it became a matter of when I got into comics. And these were mostly British comics, not really American comics.
mm,
So those things I always wanted to draw those characters from those comics all the time. And yeah, and then after a while, as a teenager, I started seeing the covers of science fiction books and horror books, and yeah, back then those covers were quite amazing, and yeah, they really piqued my interest, and I started like really looking at specific artists, like Jim Burns was one of my favorites at the time, and he's still ongoing. Those people inspired me to want to become this. Um, so I thought it would be a straight path to going from out of high school straight into, going to Technicon and just, landing a job like that. But obviously, life had uh,
mm.
different choices for me. So I ended up in design. And unfortunately, sometimes when you end up in something and you start making money,
Oh,
and then you
yes.
see what money can do
Gets
for you,
stuck there.
you get stuck in that, yes, and then your dreams start falling by the wayside. But I'm glad I
Mm.
realized that, okay, no, this is not where I should be, and so yeah, I got out of that and did what I needed to do.
Oh, that's cool. No, I was stuck in teaching for primary school for 12, 13 years as well. It had its moments. I mean, it's nice
Yeah,
helping a kid, one kid at a time, but not like a whole classroom. That
yeah.
almost killed me. Because I actually wanted to ask, like, who's your like favorite, especially when it comes to like comic book. I mean, the comic book
Mm,
artists, those guys are like in a league of their own. Who's
yeah.
your favorite there? Who's your favorite, like, or just other artists that you keep an eye on in like the illustration world, but also like just
Mm,
art for the sake of art, paintings, that kind of stuff, like your
yeah.
favorites? Or like you said when you were young, like your biggest motivators
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah. Um, well, obviously that's going to be quite a diverse group of people,
Mm,
and if I have to, my baseline has always been Leonardo da Vinci, mostly because he was a great artist, but also because he was an alchemist of sorts, in that he
mm,
did botany and anatomy and science and engineering, all those kinds of drawings that he
cool.
did. Those things really inspire me as to his mindset. It was never just about, I'm an artist and I mean, I've got these special feelings that I wish to express, but it was also about getting deep into the science of how things works. That really piqued my interest.
Cool.
From a comic perspective, like I said, I was mostly into British comics, so the obvious touch point would be 2000 AD,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, and that would be Carlos Osquera, who did the Strontium Dog stories. He was a
Cool.
big influence for me, and the various other Simon Harrison, Simon Bisley. There's too many to mention now, and even newer ones, Clint Langley. Uh, yeah, a lot of those guys are inspiring. And then I think the first time when there was, I didn't actually 100% connect with the art world because I felt it was a bit too surface level. And that's not really where I wanted to be, and I wasn't certain about what I needed, direction in which I needed to go. And then when I saw Dave McKean's Arkham Asylum for the first time,
Oh,
I was just
cool.
totally blown away. And I thought, yeah, this is the kind of direction, this is the kind of thing that I can do. This is how I connect with this.
Mm.
And yeah, so Dave McKean has always been a big influence on me as well. Currently, there's Samuel Aria, Daniel's I forgot how to pronounce
Oh,
his name. He's Italian.
Daniel Sarah.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
amazing work.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And then
just
also,
awesome.
yeah, and then also locally, I think it's, Daniel Hugo, who's also a good friend of mine, Luke Mulver. Those guys are doing good work also in the illustration
Cool.
world. So yeah, there's too many to mention.
I'm just happy there's always like you could talk about any industry and genres and stuff. There's always a South African name popping up, which is just awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
from sport to the arts to
yeah,
music, anything. So that's
yeah.
great for like how smaller country we are. And I've been realizing lately, even just like locally for me, Bloemfontein, like how many amazing like artists and people are actually
Mm-hmm.
here. And I want to find a way to get everyone to work together a bit more, um, just
Yeah,
collaborate. I mean, meet up, have conversations where you lift each other up, kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
so you live in
In Cape Town.
Cape Town. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably like a nice scene there where you guys like all come together, maybe. I don't know, like,
They
do
are,
you
I suppose so, to a certain extent. I'm not very much of an outgoing person,
same?
but I am in, but I am in contact with, like, say, I'm constantly in contact with someone like Daniel Leho, or from time to time I hear from other people that I've been working to a certain extent with in the past. Um, So yeah, there's a community there, and that community usually, shall I say, arises up around a times of like Comic-Con, Africon,
Mm,
that kind of thing. That you usually see the bigger meetups. But in general, I don't think there's that many meetups unless it's like the specific niche kind of meetups of
mm,
specific style of art. I think that people get
cool.
together on.
No, I know I should have been to African Comic Con. Is it Africon?
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah,
the I should have gone, but like you say, like stuck at home, work all day, uh, no social life. That this is my
mm,
social life, just chatting
yeah,
with other authors and
yeah,
creators and people.
mm,
But yeah, so maybe um, we'll meet up there eventually.
yeah,
I'll get a booth there for Crystal Lake, and when we have a nice printer now in South Africa that can
mm,
handle our books, so I've got a
mm,
massive backlist to catch up on, and moving forward on our kids' books and some South African authors and artists, and then maybe not this year, but maybe next year we'll be there, and
yeah,
we'll definitely meet up for
mm,
sure. That would be awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so what are you
Also,
working? No, sorry, go on.
no, also on the front of other South African creatives. One thing I forgot to mention is where I really got my big break in this field was actually through a South African called Joe Vaz. And Joe started Something Wicked magazine.
Oh yes,
Uh,
I remember
yeah,
that.
that's
Mm.
probably 2008
Yeah,
round about there.
yes.
And yeah, so I managed to be on the first cover of that, and he consistently then used me to do cover work or interior work. And when finally Something Wicked kind of just couldn't go on, he introduced me to some more international people like Interzone and
Mm,
those kind of people.
cool.
So I owe a lot to Joe Vaz for like getting myself to this point. And sorry to say that, sad to say that he actually passed away last year.
Really?
And
Oh.
yeah,
So I
and
remember him, but I didn't know he passed
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yes,
So
'cause I remember we had a few conversations like via Facebook or something,
mm,
but I definitely missed that. Oh, that's bad.
mm,
It's
yeah,
always sad when you miss someone who like enriches not just people's
yeah,
lives, but like an art form or just the world of
yeah,
books and industry like that.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so projects you're working on now, that you can talk about, or
Yeah.
personally, like just something you doing for yourself.
Well, I'm just start finishing up on a book called The Buffalo Hunter,
Oh
which
yes,
is a book by, yeah,
Stephen Graham Jones.
that's correct,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, that's an awesome book.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, that would be also for the German publisher. That was quite nice to work on. And yeah, uh, different kind of themes and things I needed to look at, and also to be, very mindful of cultural things and
Mm,
specifics of specific Native American tribes and those kind of things. So that was quite interesting to work on, and yeah, and but in the meantime, I'm also just busy working on my own project, which is Echo Gear, which is unfortunately the last time I published it was probably about 5 years ago. So yeah, I need to get my next issue out hopefully
mm,
in this year. But yeah, that's what I'm currently just
cool.
plugging away at.
So, can you recall the name of the German publisher? Because we had a book a few
Uh,
years
Bu-
ago.
it's
Uh,
I don't know if I'm
yeah,
pronouncing it
it's
correctly.
very
Buchheim
difficult.
Verlag.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You didn't perhaps do the Exorcist House as well.
No, I didn't work on
Okay,
that.
that would have been quite the coincidence. Like, because I know we've had that one translated, um,
Okay.
and it's doing quite well. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Then it looks like there's quite a strong German readership for horror books and
Yeah.
stuff. That's
Yeah, there is.
really
Yeah.
cool. I should look into that a bit more. Few more
Yeah.
translations and stuff. That's cool that they like your
Mm,
artwork. I mean,
yeah.
that's really nice.
Mm.
Well, so for any up and coming artists or like youngsters, kids, whatever watching this, any advice, any tips?
Any advice, any tips? Yeah, I'd say if you want to do it, then uh, and if you truly passionately want to do it, then do it because you truly passionately want to do it, not because you think you can make money easily from it, because you don't. It is not a high paying job, or and uh, maybe that would be more in the educational department where you get a lot more of that kind of illustration work.
Mm.
But do it before the sake of really loving the work, and do it. I always say, like, if it's the money should not be your driving force at all. It should always be the work that you put in, and the love of the genres, the love of the creative process, and don't get bogged down by AI.
Oh, yes.
You, yeah, you. If you start going down that narrow road, you are no longer an artist. So
Mm.
don't get into that dark hole.
No, that's
Mm,
definitely true.
mm,
I tell authors as well. So, it's not about the money. It's just you can't see yourself doing anything else. Like it's not even a
yeah,
choice. It's who you are. You're an artist. You're a
yeah,
writer. You're whatever. Like and
yeah,
like it's awesome if you can make money off it, but it's
mm,
never a guarantee. It's never
yeah,
a fixed income either. So, I
yeah,
mean, I've seen authors do with books that sell really well for 5 or 6 months, and then they think, oh, I've got an amazing book that's going to keep making money, and they make these big career changes. But I mean, and then like 7, 8 months in, things start to fade, and they're not even done yet with the next book. So you never know month to month. I mean,
yeah,
but it's good to at least always have gigs and always, like you say,
yeah,
you have the contacts, you have the network, you go to Comic Con, you meet new people, you have to stay active, you have to
yeah,
get more business through word of mouth, and you have to
yeah,
get out there. I mean, you have to say yes to an interview like this. I mean, who knows what
yeah,
doors are going to open up
yeah,
uh, when you get yourself out there. And I know it's not for everyone. A few years ago, I couldn't even do an interview. Like, if someone wanted to interview me, it was via email because I didn't want to be on camera. But you get to the point where you
yeah,
realize, like, if my business is going to move forward, I'm going to have to put a face to the
yeah.
company or to my artwork or whatever, because
That's
people
correct.
want
Yes.
to they want to connect with the artist, the author on a personal
Yeah,
level these days, which is awesome. So
yeah,
we can't complain. Well,
yeah.
Vincent, this has been amazing. I love meeting creative people. I mean, one day I'll buy you a coffee or something and we'll just talk
I'd
about
prefer I'd
us.
prefer whiskey, Roderick.
I'm a big whiskey guy, so that's awesome. I need to come down to Cape Town and see what makes your whiskey like better down there. I'm an Irish whiskey guy, so it might take some persuasion. We'll see what you guys have.
Yeah, yeah. I'm more of a bourbon guy, so
Nice. Awesome. No, we'll do that. So yes, thanks for doing this. And everyone, please check the description for links to Vincent's work, or maybe even like publishers, magazines, whoever see this and you want to work with them, um, definitely get in touch. You'll see some of Vincent's work with us hopefully soon. I'll be in touch about that for sure. Thanks for sitting down and chatting, for taking the time, and hope you have an awesome week.
well, thanks very much for presenting me with this interview. And yeah, it was great chatting to you as well. Great meeting a fellow South African in the industry. And yeah,
Mm,
we'll chat again. And you have a great week yourself.
cool. Thanks. Cheers,
Thanks,
everyone.
mate.